All right, good afternoon. Welcome to the Bookmap Academy live coaching and mentoring session. We do this every Thursday. And the goal here, Bookmap, is to go through your trades from Academy members here in the Bookmap Academy program and to open the mic, hear them, listen to some of their decisions, and give coaching and feedback on the images that they gave and their uh, synopsis of the trade idea. If you guys are interested in it, it's easy to join. You can just go to bookmap.com, click on the More button here, and go to Bookmap Academy, their community there, and then read through here and apply right here. Okay, so you can get Bookmap for free if you go through this process. You can become a Bookmap coach and get data for free. You can become a Bookmap streamer in here. So there's a whole process, and it's all free. There's no cost involved. Go through the FAQs down below here. The idea is to help traders become better, and that's it. So, and for that, as we coach you and you create good content with order flow, Bookmap, and your trading, and we can give you feedback on that, we're willing to thank you, give you Bookmap for free. Okay, so you'll need to earn it. That's a part of the process here. Anyway, general disclosure, all Bookmap limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Risk disclosure, trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, so without further ado, we're going to jump in and take a look at some of the feedback from Stan, our Bookmap coach here. And he'll go through, start off here with Stephen. So yeah, take it away.
Hey,
Hey, Stan.
so yeah, we'll go through Steven today. Um, so yeah, you can directly go into the first picture.
Okay.
So it's always great with Steven. He posting a lot of uh, images for one trade with context and the zoom view. Um, so it's a really good point. Very good to have like kind of a morning meeting. uh, Always like he has some great confluence point and he is looking and he has a good comprehension of the order flow. I don't know if he's here and
Yeah, I don't see him yet.
yeah, but overall if you are zooming in the chart above, we can see like his entry and exit, like he was scaling out.
So in the text up here, Stan?
No, where you were.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
And on the top there is a, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we can see like his entry and where he scale. There there is a red arrow.
Is it here?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And then exit is down here.
Yeah, but he took some scale off.
Ah, here's the scale.
Yeah, exactly. So he know what he was looking for. He took some, he filtered some liquidity. It seems like he knows what he's looking for, and so we can go on the other picture, the second images that he post.
Yeah. Oh, not this one. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But
Oh,
he
this one.
goes further. No, I mean like you can exit this.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
Got it.
yeah. And so
Okay.
now we have like more the focus, like why he took that one. And so if we had like if we know where he took part in the first images that we looked at, it was at the middle. I don't know if you can point it out. Just after the first spike, like, yeah, exactly there.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I was wondering, like, why he entered at that time and maybe not waiting for more like the short-term liquidity. Then he highlights after, and even like the relative volume with it, plus the liquidity that's pulled. And so it would be good to have yeah, the execution through Bookmap to really know like
Yeah.
where you took part and why at this time you took it.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. It's kind of oh, here's Stephen. Excellent.
Hey,
Get the mic going. And just an overview, Stephen. So Stan is giving you your feedback, and he's starting with this image here. And we already kind of covered your trade management in here, how you got in here, kind of on this very top. You nailed it. You got in here. You scaled. It looks like oh God, I can't read it now, but I think it was here and here or something like that.
yeah,
Um,
exactly.
and yeah, well, we wanted to hear from you on your trade ideas, the why you got in at these certain areas, why you got out at certain areas. And you're still,
Oh, hello.
oh, there you are.
Yeah, hey.
Okay. Hi guys. How you doing?
Doing well, doing well. How are you?
Good, good. I'm okay. I didn't know I was gonna be up first, so I was like, oh my god, I don't have my mic set up. But anyways, yeah, this setup basically when I was looking at it hindsight, I think I got in a little bit too early. When I saw the sellers come in, and then it like started, it pulled back a little bit, and then I just got in short. Seeing,
So in
you know,
here,
yeah, I could have maybe waited for the outside edge, and then see the fail of the buyers. Well, you see that arrow where I say there, buyers exhausted. When I saw the sellers come in the second time, I could have maybe entered there. You know, like this is obviously hindsight. But you know, the same principles that I normally try to follow is, you know, with the trend lines, with the lower low, lower highs, and you can see it, you know, played out nicely here as well. In terms of my targets, they static, and you can see like where I got out, and then my fourth target, I just managed to get out. And then the buyers just came in. So that was just nicely, it played out quite nicely.
these are your three targets up here, right? Or take profits.
Yeah. So I take a scale at 5 points, and I take another target 2 at 5. So it's like, you know, 5 point intervals. So target 4 is a 20-point move.
Wow.
Don't always get it. Like today, I didn't get. Yeah, I was struggling to get my target 4s today. But it's just, I guess, how it is, you know. I didn't hear the question. What other question did you have for me?
And so yeah, where would you put your stop in this case or manage it?
Okay, so stop is at the entry 3 points above. I don't think we can see how I did my stop, but basically I would trail only after my second target would be hit. Yeah, it will be on my NinjaTrader charts, unfortunately. So if you look at the first impulse leg where the sellers come in, when I get a break of that low, the second impulse, that's when I'll trail just above that the first lower high. If that makes sense.
This one here.
yeah, when I get that break, then I would trail to like hopefully plus 2 ticks below the entry point.
Mm-hmm.
But in this case, I think I trailed just above the higher low because I want to make sure on that pullback, when the lower high is still forming, doesn't go too high, because sometimes it will go all the way to your entry, and then if you trail too soon, you get knocked out, and then it
Yeah.
it does its series of lower lows and lower highs. So I like that. I like the first impulse leg, and then I've got that low, the lower low. When it breaks that, that's when I'll trail to just above the lower high, and then as it makes lower lows, I'm trailing behind the lower highs.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
So
Yeah, yeah.
once this one is made, you trail it behind this one, or do you trail it behind this one?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I guess you can decide how aggressive you are. So if I'm like very aggressive, then yes, I'll go to the most recent lower high after
Okay.
the break.
Okay.
But it also depends, like like if you're watching the Bookmap with the liquidity, and if they're pulling, then you can kind of like, probably not the right like you have to be more consistent. But like there's times where I'm a bit more, I don't follow that, like I'm a bit more aggressive. I'm like, okay, here's enough and I'll get out. I should have done that today, because I could have got I think it was like, I think it just barely hit my target 3 or target 4, and then I was like, no, I want that target, and then it just it kept pulling back, and it knocked me out for my break even. So in that case, it maybe didn't work out well because I wasn't aggressive, like I was kind of stubborn, like, no, I'm going to get my target. But I didn't read the signs that buyers are coming in and they're taking they're taking the liquidity on the offer.
Yeah. Yeah. Stan, any comments on that?
No, I found very great.
Yeah, this was yesterday.
Uh,
Yeah, I have to I have to say, Stephen, I mean, like, wow. You've really made a massive amount of progress. Um, and look at your charts. Look at this compared to when you first started. And
Yeah.
and look how focused this is. You know exactly what you're looking for. You've got your trade management as well. Would be great to see it in Bookmap. We could give you a lot better feedback.
Yeah, I'm struggling to get it to work. But I know what you mean. You
Yeah,
want to see that.
want to see it because like someone like Dune Runner, for example, has been um, showing it and also showing losses. And because he says I want to do that. They're not all winners,
Yeah.
and he gets great feedback on some of those. So anyway, point made. But it's just really great, and I also really like hearing the trade moving your stop to break even, or where you're moving your stop and when. That came through your experience. So a lot of people, when they get the first break like this, get a little bigger.
But you also don't see this detail on normal price charts. What the Bookmap, the bubbles are showing.
Yeah.
You don't see that.
Well, and the high liquidity. I mean, look at this high liquidity
Yeah.
here, and also this previous high liquidity in here. These are magnets for price to kind of come back and maybe stick around for a little bit.
Yeah.
But what I really like hearing though was because a lot of traders, like they'll get in. You got in someplace around in here,
A
and
little bit lower. A
a
little
little
bit
bit
lower.
lower. So
Yeah.
somewhere in here.
Yeah, right
Okay.
there.
So And then, they place their stop and they go, yeah, I nailed it. Look at me. I nailed it, and then like, oh, I've got it. It's not coming back. Put their stop to break even here and get stopped out. And all of this happens.
Yeah.
And so it sounds like it's happened to you. So now you have criteria in your trade management that is different, made a difference. So you'll keep your stop up here like 3 points. You'll wait for that first swing. You'll wait for the pullback. You'll still keep your stop, and wait for the next break. Then you move your stop. That's great.
Yeah.
I really love hearing that. You still might get stopped out. I mean, we never know.
I did actually. I had two shorts. If you look on my NinjaTrader chart, you'll see there. So those were 3-point stops, and they got taken out. And then on the third one, I was like, I'm still right here. This is my setup, and I took it. Luckily, I took it because it paid for everything. So yeah.
Yeah. So really, really great. I mean, one thing about the scaling out of 5 points, I mean, you nailed it here, but I think there's some considerations like instead of just being 5 points, because I mean maybe the market does relate to that in this during this day. But you can kind of look at these moves in here, these pullbacks in here, and start to look for these kind of measurements. You can start to line it up with liquidity or previous areas, and they can give you a good idea of, like, instead of just points, how much pressure is in the market, and where you might consider taking some off, or where you can start to consider your moving stops as well. I mean, if this break below here is so many points, and this is kind of equal to this, the pullback shouldn't, it shouldn't come up to here. Now it may, but it shouldn't, or just slightly above it, just in case. But like there's this kind of pattern that's starting to form, and if the order flow helps it,
Chart follower replied to ASIC get after the order.
it might be something that is helpful for your trade management. That's my only comment. Stan, I don't know if you had anything more you wanted to add.
And if you can maybe tell us how you're using like the correlation indicator that you have on your chart.
Yeah, the blue line.
I don't trade off it. It's just like to give me a bit of like a heads up what's going on NQ, so I don't have to jump around. Yeah, I want to like upgrade my system and get like a few more monitors. I'm currently trading on a laptop and like two small screens, and yeah, I'm a bit short on screen real estate. I think when I get like 4 monitors, like a proper setup, it'll be much easier to trade. Then I can maybe also look at NQ. NQ is a pair I would like to add as well. But I think I should just focus on one, and because I have a couple milestones that I need to achieve first, and then I'll add on more complexity.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't really use I just use it as a confirmation to see like what's going on, but I don't trade off it.
Okay. So Stan, can we move to the next one?
Perfect. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was cool. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Take
Well,
care.
no, we're still on you here.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay. I thought you were gonna move to the next person. Okay.
Yeah. So that one took a while. Sorry, everybody. But there was really good stuff.
Exactly. But overall, there we have clearly like the zoom view of the other one. So
yeah. Yeah, this is like
that's exactly
where my entry.
But the entry was just there where you were.
Yeah, right there. Yeah.
Exactly. And so, yeah, there we have maybe more, it's a little more understanding of why you took this one. Like, for example, if you were more in fractal, you got like maybe a micro structure on the left, like with the absorption, exhaustion, meaning, and you were waiting for that pullback to entering. So maybe even a more fractal zoom might be good.
Are you saying to go another zoom in,
Yeah,
another
exactly.
fractal zoom in? Oh, okay.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, exactly. But overall, just by looking at it, like, yeah, that was great. But I would, yeah, that's easy now because it's finished. But obviously, look for more conviction, like when we are looking at the relative volume. For example, on the bottom, like where ready sellers start to jump in, plus the liquidity that pulled. But we didn't have like as pertinent short-term liquidity in our favor at this time on the right side.
Yeah. To the skew, the imbalance
Yeah,
from
exactly.
the offer side. Yeah, I noticed that.
Um,
I know you like it to be quite thick as well. Like right now, it's still quite dark. There's not much. There is, but very little.
yeah, I like to look at those anomalies.
Hmm.
And but yeah, really like the fact that your point, the order flow and what you're looking at. But yeah, it would be just good to have your maybe a checklist then you are building, or it's more discretionary.
And I am building. Like I said before, my trade plan is very physical. It's papers and pages and files and folders. But I know what you're saying is to add that onto the slides.
Yeah, for example.
I think I just forgot, but
Or
I'm sure I can add. Yes, I
or
do forget.
a way to grade it, to grade what you're looking at, to build confidence in what
Yeah.
where you are
No,
looking.
I agree. It's something that I've also just ignored, and like in my trade plan, my files and stuff, I do have like some sort of checklist, but I don't know like if that's necessary to put onto my slides because it's quite long. But I know what you guys are talking about. You know, like a 3 or 4 point checklist. I haven't got around to that, but I do have some ideas.
Yeah. That sounds great. That's some good advice. I think
Yeah.
from Stan. Just one thing that Stan said, and I agree with, is like you got in here. Now there's a cluster of selling here, and I mean, this is on a pretty strong trend. You do wait for the break, and you do wait for a pullback too. So you got in here, right? Somewhere around in
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
So that all makes sense. It's pretty good. There's just something more if for a reversal, or some sort of transition to take place from buyers to sellers. There has to be some sort of back and forth typically, right? And I don't know if this is enough.
No, it's not. Yeah.
So there's still some buying pressure. They're still coming up here. They could still go further, in fact. And it's just it's a hard thing. I mean, I kind of struggle with it too. I usually get in like someone like Carmine Rosado. He sees these high areas of liquidity and starts getting in, but there's not enough justification, really. I mean, maybe it meets your higher level, etc. But this kind of transition is going to happen most likely, and then you can see the volume. Who's really good at this is Gene, from the Algo Boys, and he's in here. He was earlier.
Mm.
But seeing that transition take place can be really helpful. it starts with these areas of high liquidity, getting filled, and then you start to see the pockets of selling, and then less buying, and then more selling. And the transition is kind of complete at that point. Enough to just get sellers to try to drive it away. And I don't know. I really like it in the bars, like Stan was saying. I like seeing it in here, but it's the visualization is clearer on the bars. This is where you got in, around this area. And look at, this is low volume, so it's good. But the transition quite hasn't taken place yet. This is starting to look a little bit better. And, this is pretty clear, but this is a little late at that point. But, maybe if you're looking at maybe trend lines, etc., like you can consider, something like looking at maybe the break here. Basically, your entry is at the same point. But you just have more clarity on it.
Yeah. If you look at my first slide, the purple zoomed in, you can see there I showed my entry, and then I'm like my ideal entry, but that's hindsight. Yeah, that one right there.
Yeah.
You can see there.
Ideal.
And
Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. You and yeah, you can see but you really, I mean, it's hard. I find it hard. I mean, you just marked it up exactly the same way. Perfect.
Yeah.
Nothing more to say.
Yeah, no, but I do realize what you're saying. It makes sense. But this is what you need sometimes. Someone else to, hey, come on, focus,
Yeah.
checklist, and then that should help, hopefully.
Yeah. It's tough. I mean, you get kind of eager to trade, and there's FOMO, and it's at a high level, your higher time frame level, etc. And you're just waiting for it to unfold. But man, if you can wait, it's going to build so much confidence when you wait for this to happen, or even wait for that to happen and then get in on the pullback. That's even harder for me, because sometimes you never get it. It just goes straight down and you won't get a pullback. So I just look for the clusters of volume and the liquidity to help. But that would be my feedback. I don't know, Stan, if you had anything else you wanted to go over.
No, that's perfect. And I find very great that you are making feedback about your work and just not showing what were happening. I think you can even learn more from your trade.
Yeah, it's really, your progress has been just exponential, Stephen.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, guys, I forgot to mention something. I guess, well, I'll hold it. We got some nice news here. I'll hold it until a little bit later. So yeah, thanks, Stephen. We'll move on to Rob.
No worries. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
Okay, bye.
So yeah, you can directly jump into so the first one.
Okay.
So this one is more about the context, the bigger picture of his trade. So that's good too, to have more images about how you took the trade. You can go in the other one. So compared to next week, thanks for making more clarification in your annotation, about what you are looking at more clearly. And so, for example, in this case, yeah, he was looking. So so for the hammer in the first time, they take a higher high with buying volume. Exactly. And then so yeah, I like the images that you put. It make really like easier to understand. um, so below we can look, he was highlighting like the volume, the potential truck traders, exactly with the relative on the left. And yeah, the one that you just point out, it's where really like sellers came in and potentially trapped those buyers. And I think it's why make his entry. And so he enter with a sell stop. That's that, Rob. Let me know if I'm wrong.
No,
And
that's good. Yeah, that's pretty much spot on.
yeah, and that's great. Then you took some of like front of liquidity, and that's great to see your management in there. And I was wondering, where do you put your stop, or do you have it, or you haven't any one, and it's more psychological.
Yeah, yeah, good question. And again, thanks for having me on the stage and interviewing my trades. I really appreciate it. So for this, I have my stop. Where did I have my stop? It's right above the previous pivot high, out of the breakout. Yeah, right there. I put it like right around there. I usually wouldn't wait for it to go all the way back up because what I like to see with this setup is I don't want to see price get back above the range, that blue dotted line. If price kind of stalls and kind of comes right above it and starts to leak back out, I get out. But that's where my stop goes.
Okay, perfect. And I was wondering, like, when do you set your stop order actually to entering? Because I was wondering, like, if you are waiting for the sellers to entering to confirm your trade. Uh, when they
Yeah,
have this
so I
confirmation.
use bracket orders. So it's going to put my stop automatically, and I have it set for about like 3 points, and I might have to adjust it depending on where I get in. So what I'll usually do, and I don't remember exactly how I did it in this trade, but what I'll usually do is I'll see the breakout, and we're above it, and kind of just watching volume, and I will put a market sell stop. Is that the right like that first one? I'll put an order right there. It's not going to trigger until it gets hit, but I'll put an order and I'll just wait just to kind of see what happens. And so as price was coming back down into it, if that liquidity stayed in the book, it was right around 5,017 and a quarter. Like that liquidity, if that liquidity stayed in the book, I would cancel my order. But I put it there, saw the liquidity pooled as price was coming into it, volume started to pick up, and I let it get hit. Once that order got hit, I put my second runner, or I let my second position right there, and I'll kind of move the stop or move the targets in front of liquidity.
And do you have a trading stop in this case, or?
No, I haven't mastered trading stops yet in Bookmap. I usually just put orders at the end of the range. And that's something that I need to figure out, especially like on outside days, because I leave a lot of points on the table. Because I'll take my exit right there out of the range, and then sometimes, price will break and it'll just run another, 5, 10 points, and I miss out on all that. But that's coming. That's coming. This is 1.0 of this setup. Once I get to 2.0, I'll
Yeah,
start adding trailing stops and a little bit more complex trade management.
but it's great. And you're looking always at the same thing, and then you're grading it. Then you know what you're looking at. Yeah, great to see then how you are understanding how you are taking advantage of the order flow and bookmap.
Yeah, it's a game changer, man.
And
Oh
so
man,
uh, I was wondering, like, for the second entry, like, did you have more confidence because it was going in your side, or because in this case, like, the liquidity hasn't pulled, or
Yeah, just because I saw those big dots coming in, um, even though liquidity was there, there's also a nice fat band of liquidity at 5109 that I think eventually got tagged. And so even though there was liquidity there, it didn't scare me to not leg into that position. And you could also see other liquidity pooling. So if it was like a thick band, then I probably wouldn't have. But just like whatever volume that was, other liquidity starts to pool. There's other liquidity lower in the book. Gave me the confidence to put in to leg in.
Yeah, that's perfect. So thank you for posting.
No, thank you, and I'm glad
Good job.
the template I'm using reads a lot better.
That's perfect. I don't know, Bruce, if you have anything to say.
I do. I can't help it. I'm sorry. um, really, well, first off, Stan, really great coaching with both Stephen and Rob here. But Rob, I mean, also just tremendous progress here. You were buying into losers, I think, last few times that we covered, or like maybe a month ago or so. Now all of a sudden you're selling into losers or winners and scaling in. Wow, that's a dramatic change. And look at, I mean, the bigger picture here. Like, you are looking for something very specific. You have your criteria. We can even, before you even get to that, you noticed something. This is your fake out breakout trade here, right?
Yep.
You're like, man, I can't get this like continuation pattern in the flag, and I started to note that this happened to me all the time. I'm going to look for the opposite. So you did, and this is what you came up with. It started to resonate with you. Now you have boxes and ranges around here. You know exactly what you're looking for. This is it. Here's your entry. This is how you're going to manage it. You see the pulled liquidity here. You even got your range in here, it looks like, and you're looking for this to unfold, and you have your criteria for it. This is just a massive change,
Thank you. Thank you.
and it played out beautifully. That's really nice. It will help build confidence, and continue to take it again and again. There'll be nuances. I can go over maybe a couple ideas, but like um, I mean, this is like a different person in here. So you've got exactly what you're looking for in here in the trap volume, and this is the move away from that zone in here. The what else? You're setting your you have your entries and your exits figured out. We can see all the trade management in here, and you're using break even here too, which is fantastic. So all these tools are working for you. It's really great to see. So the if there was any kind of comments, like it's just nuances. Like if you saw the break here, and Stan was kind of pointing to it. Well, I mean, maybe you could have gotten in a little bit higher, but maybe not. Maybe this is a good area, there yeah, I mean, there's some danger in these. I like these trades. I kind of trade similarly, but like because I want to see that volume take me into the trade and move away from the zone. And In fact, here's your flag pattern, but I'll hold off on that. And then you're waiting for another break because you're looking for that volume to pick up and to move down and to target this liquidity down here, and then you can see your stop or your take profit management right in front of that high liquidity. Beautiful. You see another big sell dot here, and hard to see some details in here. And I know you moved it around a little bit, but it's fine. This is, you're looking, a lot of times it'll come down just shy of it and then come like all the way back up, chop, and then come all the way back down. You see that big sell dot here, you're out, looking for the hunting for the next trade, and then you've got that break even here. This is where you scaled in, it went down. Here's your first scale out, and then then that's it. Really great.
Do you have any? Thank you for that. I really appreciate it. And yeah, you're right. I mean, I just kind of flip things around. I'm kind of preying on what I used to trade on. Like, I'm taking the opposite side of that, so I feel kind of bad, but at the same time too, it's like, hey, it's working. Preying on suckers like me who used to kind of try to keep trading the continuation patterns. Where would you put your stop on that? I think that the one problem that I'm having with this trade is that as I'm reviewing my metrics on it, is my R is really tight. Like, out of all the trades that I have, my average is like about 1.25 R, which is kind of low. Thankfully, I have a high win rate on this trade. I got like about an 80 to 85% win rate at the moment. But if that starts to change, that's going to really get skewed, right? So I need to kind of figure that out a little bit and either try to bump up my R, so I'm at least getting like a 2, which means I either need to play longer ranges or I need to be more tighter with my stop. And so I wonder if you have like any feedback in that regards.
It's a tricky one because this is you're going to have a lot of weird things. Maybe they've already happened, but like, instead of this being the trapped traders or the fake out fake breakout, this is going to be the fake breakdown, and it's going to move back, and that's going to happen. So, like, I don't know. I mean, the way that I've been covering it in the webinars, and I mean, you guys are right there. So I just say, look, I'm looking for this to work now. If it doesn't, I'm going to get stopped out like here. That's it. If it doesn't work now, I'll just wait until it does. So it's very, very minimal. And then I just take a lot of, break-even trades.
That's fair.
Or small losses. So that's one way to deal with it. Another way to deal with it is like, it depends on your time frame, how long you're going to hold this for, how many points are you looking for it to go. The next stop would be probably, your high volume node or of this little range in here that you have. If it can break through that, then likely it's going to trade to the other side of the range. So maybe someplace, I don't know, maybe kind of up here someplace, but maybe even here. It's hard to say. It's a tough one. You'll have to get kind of a feel for it. But you really believed in it here, and this is helping build confidence tremendously as you scaled into the trade. It's really great. That's showing like the confidence in it, and it's this volume. This is just beautiful because you got the volume on your side here. You got it here. You got the move. You got it here. You got the move.
The volume's a big game changer. Just learning to read that a lot better. These trades just become easier and easier to take.
Yeah, really.
If I could ask you, I'm sorry, if I could ask you one last question before you abandon me here. To that point you just said, right? Because I've been kind of noticing that when I got ranges stacked on top of each other, like where I took that could be the fake out, right? And price goes and reverses back up.
Yeah.
So one thing I was kind of thinking about is kind of almost like a combo trade, where if I have these ranges that are stacked on top of each other, I'll take my entry there, but I'll put my stops, but I'll also put buy stop orders above, so that if that gets faked out and I stop out, the move to the upside, I'll get filled on that and I'll take it to the other side. Do you know what I'm saying? So like I'll put like a buy stop order like right there. And
Yeah.
so then I will basically kind of take the other side of the trade.
Yeah.
I could get chopped out. I mean, that's one thing. If I get chopped out, I'll just stop trading. I'll just kind of wait for the next setup. But something I've been considering.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a tough one. It's a really good idea, and you'll have to. It'll be through experience that you'll figure that out for yourself. I feel it's a tough one because you're emotionally committed after seeing this, and then seeing your fake out, breakout trade there too. I don't know. I mean, but what you're saying makes sense. If this is the fake breakdown here, then likely it'll do something like that, right?
Right.
You want to like get out up in here and then get in maybe here or at the same area. It is hard because you'll do that and then it'll go like this, and now you have two big losses, and or not necessarily big because you scaled in only one here. You're out one and then you're in another one and you're probably out of that pretty quick too. But and that it can mess with your head. At least that's what I've found. So until you really get a feel for it, yes, then go for it. But like what happens a lot of times in volatile period, what I've seen in volatile periods is see how this volume starts to pick up, see how this
Right.
picks up even more, and then you'll get the move back up above here and you'll get even more volume. Like it even ramps up more on the buy side. And it's like, oh my God, which way do you want to go? But if you see that kind of buy volume coming in, that might be something that helps you make that distinction. Okay, I'm going to go long. I got it wrong. I'm going to admit it. I'm going to go long, and I see that volume coming in. It's going to rip.
Got it. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, great work.
Appreciate it. Thank you guys.
Okay, all right. So let's see, Stan. We move on to new guy.
Yeah, exactly. So dot 818. So yeah, you can go in there. He was looking at a mean reversion trade and targeting VPOC and VWAP. So he posted one images with good information. He was looking at the order flow and so his volume profile too. It would be good to maybe have a zoomed view about the entry where when you took part of it actually because
It's here. It's the triangle.
exactly, but
Yeah.
it seems like he entered with bias and potentially he could look at things inside this in the micro view potentially um, with short-term liquidity that's heading plus the exhaustion, then it could he highlights on the right exactly, and he enter just before. So I don't know if he because it's quite difficult to know if you if if it is like trap buyer at this time when he enters in. Um, so I don't know if he's here and if
No,
you
I
want.
don't see him.
But it's good to see like the first last too high into liquidity. Then we came back with low conviction. Um, overall, that's a great job. It's good to see like he's trading through Bookmap. That's good to see like his money management and where he took
Yeah.
part. So yeah, the scale out at the VPOC plus the VWAP, I think he could say then he potentially front run like liquidity. It would work too and make most sense at this time. Um, and about the money management, like the risk reward, when we see like where he put his stop. So
Yeah, you can see the stop up here.
yeah, exactly. So I don't know if it was a little bit too high. He was playing it a little bit with it. And I would wait maybe for more sellers, like big bubbles entering to have conviction. But that's a great job, and it's good to see this kind of work.
Yeah, I agree with you, Stan. I'm 99% of the time I agree with you, Stan. So it's like the idea is good, but there's no that transition we talk about again and again. Like it just hasn't happened yet. There's more buyers still in here. Now you got the bars, and then you see the transition starting to take place here. Now that's obviously too late, and then the move is kind of done, and it does a counter move back up. So then what we're talking about here is this this range here. So if and if that is the range, well, then what is the volume within that range? And then, I mean, basically, this could have ripped right here very easily, I feel. So, and your suggestion was to look into the microstructure, which you can kind of see a little bit. You see it kind of do this little double top here, right? And then, so you're saying like, then wait for here, if you want to take that.
Yeah, exactly. If it was a microscope at this time, and he was highlighting what was happening in this microstructure, but we didn't have a zoom view in
Yeah,
there.
yeah, and then yeah, look, I totally agree. I mean, and I mean, he has justification for his target at the VPOC. Okay, I can go along with that. Maybe though, if if it fails, you're looking for the bottom of this range here. Maybe, but no, that's fine. This is also where that breakout took place. This is where it retested. We don't know if it's going to rip at this time or not here. And in fact, this selling in here is not very convincing whatsoever. Nor is this yet. This is where it really starts to pick up, and it looks like it'll do it. Yeah, so there's some risk here for sure. But he got it. He nailed it. And then it's a short scalp that took some here and took some here. But you make the point, which is really good. If, moving that stop and maybe a little too much breathing room here. Because if you got 2 on and it comes up and nails you up here, that's going to hurt. You can take a ton of these in here and nail them, get 90%, but it's going to take you 2 or 3 of these that you got to win to get back what you lost on this one. So I think your comments on trade criteria as well as checklist will be very helpful for reducing that. All right. So Stan, any other comments?
Yeah, I totally agree with the checklist.
Okay. So yeah, that's everybody, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's it for me.
All right. So that's an hour so far, guys. And good session there. Jack also put together some images for and text for you guys. So he couldn't make it again, but he will be back soon, and so will David. Slowdown is he's taken a bit of a break from the coaching. But let's see, Valifan, I know you're in here. So there's a video. There's a lot of food. You can see what Jack had done here. So please take a look, read through it, and there's some really nice things in here. You can see he's putting a lot of effort into Dune Runner as well, and let's see, and then Laura. I don't know if Laura is in here tonight for her. I don't see her, but Jack has made some really nice feedback for all of you. So I'm going to leave it at that because I just don't think I'm going to do it justice. You'll have to read through and reach out to Jack in the Bookmap Academy room and give your feedback because he spent a lot of time on this clearly. Yeah, probably better to continue over at the Bookmap Academy room and ask him questions there. And then let's see here. See, I had a couple things to go through. Okay, so well, first off, like a lot of you guys have been doing some great work for a while, and I just wanted to update you guys about the Bookmap Academy program. And when you first come in and you partake, you apply for the Junior Academy. That is the first step. And then if you're accepted to the Bookmap Junior Academy, that is now the testing ground. You'll need to meet your thresholds of at least one piece of quality content per day. And that's it basically. If you do 2, you could also get the you can get Bookmap for free if you do 1. And it's quality, and then you can also get the MBO bundle if you make it into 2 per day, or another indicator package of your choice. So anyway, I want to give a congratulations to Vinny V, Dune Runner, Robbed, and Valifan. So you guys have been doing great work. It's been consistent. It's been over a period of time. So here you go. Now here's your opportunity, and your Bookmap Junior Academy members, and just keep doing what you're doing. You're just going to have to make those thresholds. So if you have any questions on it, you can answer or ask it in the Bookmap Academy room, but you can also find a lot of the answers here from the Bookmap Academy page. Okay, most of the, if this isn't clear in here, there's some FAQs down below. And what we're looking for, right? So, more of the focus now is on trading from the Bookmap chart as well. So we want to see that. But that's it. I just want to, really celebrate and congratulate you guys. Some great work, and there's others in here, like the others that I just wanted to shout out to that are already Junior Academy. You guys know who you are. You've been doing great work for a while as well. Stephen, Rob, others that, CMJ, there's, God, who else? Rubicon Trader. A lot of you guys, but then it just ebbs and flows the output. And I know everyone's busy, etc. But I just encourage you to keep going, and also newbies with Doot and Laura. Great work. It's only been a few weeks, but you're off to an awesome start. So keep going. Then you'll get there. So anyway, great work, you guys. Keep it up, keep going, and we're not worried about extending Bookmap to you. Shark Baloo, another one. You're already Bookmap Junior Academy, but the work has been spotty. or at least the consistency in it. So just keep going, and you'll get there. So I encourage you to. So anyway, Slowdown's not in here as well today. I know he's been away, but I was hoping he'd maybe be in here. We can go over his this pattern in here that kind of flag-like pattern, but he calls it a volatility contraction pattern. But anyway, we have a pretty strong move. We have this basing and then a breakout with strong move again and targeting high liquidity. So some really nice stuff in here. A lot of things we mentioned already earlier, you can see in here as well. And then CMJ, you posted some really nice work. I'd like to open the mic. I know you're in here, or you were in here. Oh, that's a pity. Yeah, because some really nice stuff. This looks very much like just a piece of what Slowdown had shown, and he got in here, as you guys can see, and then scaled out a couple times up in here on the move up, and then one final exit here, which is equal to his first take profit. So he gave it a chance to run, right? And you can kind of see what's going on. That's why I wanted to open the mic. You can see, like, if it breaks that this trend in here, he doesn't want it to come back down below that area here. He's going to take his profit, and then that's that. So I like the trade management on that, giving it a chance to go and work. So yeah. Anyway, some good stuff there. Some nice images that he's made. And let's see, what else do I have here? I think that was it. Yeah, let's see, Alan and Rob and some of the other guys. Valefan, I've been wanting to cover your stuff as well, because you've been doing some really, really good work, but we'll have to do it next time. I don't want to read through Jack's stuff. Let you guys do that, and let you get to the bottom of it and ask Jack questions, because he did a really good job there. So I don't want to hack it. All right. So I think let's just round it out, guys. Like, it's been a couple of hours, the last two meetings. We had a lot of people on the mic. We would have probably gone a little bit longer if CMJ was on, or if Do-It was on, but they weren't here. So we'll call it a day, and meet up next time. So, and I don't know if Stan, any other comments that you have?
No, that's perfect. Thank you for being here.
Okay. Well, thanks, guys. Keep up the good work, and we'll meet again next week. All right. Okay. All right. Yeah. Have a good evening and a good weekend. Okay. Bye-bye.